morning. It's Andrew from 510 Books. It is Friday. Friday, can you believe it? Friday's here. Party time. Not really. Not really. It's April 4th. It's April 4th. Can you believe it? Got a couple things that sold on eBay. 3 things. Something that sold on Amazon. There's a train passing. Right down the street from where I am is a concert venue. See that big truck right there? That white truck. A lot of times there's big trucks out front. Sometimes there's, what do you call them? Motorhomes, because a lot of the groups will be touring all over the place and they'll park around here and walk around and go to different shops. So clearly there's another concert happening. Okay, so I sold this on eBay, this on Amazon, this on eBay, this on eBay. Yes, that's right. I sold the other Nancy Drew book lot. These are the newer Nancy Drews from the early 90s. Yellow, smooth covers or boards. And I had 23 or 22 of them. Sold it for $34.99. Ended up profiting a little over $1 each book, which is not bad, but $34.99. It sold within 3 days of listing it. So price things right, price them to move, get your money, keep it going, because it's a lot of books to keep in stock. I sold these Time Life, the Rock and Roll Era CDs, 9 of them for $24.99. These, I'm not sure if these came from a Gaylord or what, but those were listed a few months ago, so it did not take too long to sell. This one sold, was not worth it. This I got years ago. It was free shipping, so I made like less than $2 off of it. But got it off the shelf. This one sold on Amazon for $7. Steps to Christ. So yeah, just that one sale on Amazon. But that's what I sold in the last 24 hours. It is now Saturday, April 5th. It's April 5th. I feel like I was saying it's March 5th. It's March 4th, not too long ago. And here we are in April. So yesterday, I did not get a chance to finish that video. So here we are, second day, all good. It's Saturday. Did I say Saturday? It's Saturday, April 5th, 2025. And I finished, not just closing my store, but putting everything out for next week, starting on Monday. I'm open from Monday to Saturday. And on Saturdays, when I'm not, I try to be here at least part of the day on Saturday. Sometimes it happens where I'm not here that long and I have to stay super late. Staying a little bit late today. But anyway, my wife's out of town, and so I have the kids. I have to go pick them up at Grandpa's house. Anyway, I'm sidetracking all over the place. But today was a good day. So I like to close, and then at the last couple of hours when I close on Saturday, I put away everything that did not sell that was new that I put out, put it in its, put the records away, put the CDs, books, DVDs, etc. And then to make room for the new inventory, and then I put out the new inventory for next week. And I've already planned ahead. As of right now, I have 2 weeks ahead. I just have to do this next week. I have to plan another week ahead. I try to stay about 3 weeks ahead so that when things happen where I can't, I'm already, ahead. And I don't have to worry about having inventory for that next week, which has been really helpful for me since I went from being open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to now being open from Monday to Saturday, even though Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are limited hours. So it's been good in that respect. Gosh, how many months has it been? When did I start doing that? I started doing that in January, opening more days. But I just went back and looked at my sales in March, because now, of course, we're in April. So I looked at my sales for my store, and out of the 4 weeks of March, only one of the weeks was really lower than the other weeks. It just so happened that way. The other 3 weeks were great. One of them was particularly good, and that's what happens, right? And so remember that I've had this store, this location for over 5 years, actually 5.5 years now. And I initially started out by doing some Facebook advertising and some other random advertising as well. Paid advertising, I'm saying. As of now, I'm not doing any paid advertising. It's all through to my current existing customer base, which is through my newsletter, where I have getting very close to 400 subscribers. Although not all of them open the email every week, of course, but I still have a pretty high open rate. And then I have a Facebook page and I have an Instagram page, and I'm working on building up a TikTok page. That's a little harder, but we're working on that. I'm working on that. So that's what I do. I occasionally post on Craigslist, maybe every 3 or 4 weeks I'll post on there. And that sometimes brings some people, but not consistently. And that's about it. Nextdoor has been kind of pointless. I haven't figured that one out, but I don't post there very often. So I do all that. And of course, I have my physical signs out on the street, so that when people drive by, they see them and then they can come in, etc. And then people find me pretty consistently every week just by looking me up on their phone. It's funny, nowadays it's on the phone, right? I'm not going to say on the computer. It's typically just on their phone. And they will search something like bookstores, music store, movie store, whatever it is, and I'll pop up. So that's been really helpful as well. That's all free advertising. That's just because I've been here a while. I have reviews on my Google page, and so people find me. So all of this is to say that it's going pretty well with being open extra 12. It's that total hours, 12 hours a week. I noticed a shift where when I would open on Thursday, I'd get a lot more people. Thursday would typically be the busiest day, and then Saturday usually was the second busiest day, and Friday was a little slower. But now, because Thursday's not anything special except that I'm open longer, more hours, I will typically get some people that come in Monday that usually came in first thing, or at least came in on Thursdays. People that have the time to come in, whether they're retired or whatever, whatever their situation is. And if especially they saw something that I put out they want right away, they'll come in. So that happens where it kind of adjusts, right? Where I'm open more days, so now people know that they don't have to. So it's kind of like works for me and against me, where I get access to more people because I have my signs out. I'm just open more hours so people can find me and see that I'm open. But then also, my existing customers might be thinking, some of them, oh, he's open all the time now, so I can just go down there. There's always time. Versus before, only 3 days. I got to be down there on one of those 3 days or I miss out. There's this sense of scarcity, which I know is why some people, as resellers, will only open certain days of the week, which worked well for me for 3 years. But I wanted to expand. I wanted to appeal to more people that have different schedules, all that kind of stuff. And I found more people so far in the last few months. Another thing I want to touch on is focus on one thing at a time. So I really was big in Amazon FBA in books. At one point, I had almost 3,000 items in FBA. I slowly switched from that, got into many different types of media, selling it through Amazon, mostly FBA, and then I got more into merchant fulfill, and then I started doing eBay, which I was reluctant to do at first, but now I love it. Anyway, online was everything. And then I saw other resellers throughout the country that were media resellers, and they were opening up physical stores, and some of them were opening up really big stores. So I thought about getting into that, understanding that I was always having extra inventory that didn't make sense to sell on Amazon or eBay, but somebody might want to pick it up in a store. So that's how I turned from a storage unit to finding this location, which has worked out really well. However, if you don't have your Amazon or eBay or whatever you're doing online, wherever you're selling online, your platform, maybe it's Whatnot, whatever. If you don't have it to the point where you really want it, like the level, number of sales, income, etc., then I would get it to that level and make sure you can maintain it before getting into physical media. Before getting into a brick and mortar store, because the brick and mortar store, even though it's great for a lot of reasons that I mentioned in many videos, it's also takes more time because you have to grow your own customer base. Amazon and eBay already have a built-in customer base. You're just plugging into that and selling stuff that you can already look up and see how much interest there is and what it goes for, etc. But locally, when you have a local business, it takes time. People have to find you, and then even when they find you, they have to see that you're doing good business, they trust you, your prices are good, it's organized, all that kind of stuff, and build a customer base. And that can take, honestly, it's not like a couple months, 6 months. It's usually a couple of years before you build that up. But as I've seen, and as you've seen, hopefully through my videos, it can be profitable and potentially make a lot of money as well. But the location I'm in, etc., is a hindrance to me because I'm not in a retail space. I did put out that money for that. But nonetheless, I've built up a customer base slower than if I had been in a really busy retail location. But my point is that I wish I had built up my eBay business much larger before I started doing this, right? So I've gained so much knowledge from looking at so much media that I can walk into a thrift store, I can go to a garage sale, and I can already spot the valuable items without having to pull out my phone. The phone just helps me, verify something in particular. Oh, I think this is worth some money, like a book. There's so many books. No one ever will know every single book. There's too many. You might know almost every DVD. You might know most CDs. You might know pretty good amount of vinyl, but you're not going to know every book. Not even book dealers. And they always deal in a niche. Anyway, side note. So, but nonetheless, I can go, wherever, and I can find stuff, and then I can find good stuff to sell on Amazon, on eBay, although I'm mostly heavy into eBay now. I much prefer it. So what I'm saying is the store takes away from time I could be putting into listing like crazy on eBay. Instead of me doing 3 to 5 a day on average, lately I've been trying to do 10, working on hitting 10. I could be hitting 10, 20 or more listings a day of good items, and then obviously selling more. You see what my sales are for the most part. I don't share every single eBay sale, but a lot of them I do, just to share with you what I'm selling and kind of stuff that you can sell. But yeah, they'd be higher. But of course, that takes time. You got to have the time to do that. So anyway, just my 2 cents. Depends on what you want to do, though. If you're just really dying to have your own physical space, then go for it. Because you can definitely do both. And like I said, I'm back here when I'm open and there's no customers, no one needs to be helped out or rung up or anything. I'm sorting through items, I'm listing items, doing all of that stuff. And lately I've been getting a lot of stuff, which is great. This is all new inventory sitting on the floor. Of course, the 8-tracks I have not gotten to yet, but I did get through all the CDs. And I listed some lots, CD lots. We'll see how those do. But that's next, right? And then, of course, I have the VHS tapes. And I got all this stuff here, which is DVDs, Blu-rays. I just lost my train of thought. I got to end the video. I got to pick up my kids. So let's think. So if you're going to do brick and mortar, go for it. But just understand it's going to take a while to build up the loyal customer base. And if you're still selling online, you will not be able to put as much time into it because, you've got to set up your shop. Even after you've set it up, you got to maintain it, take off stuff that's not selling, add new inventory every week, all that kind of stuff, right? And that takes away from just selling online. There's a lot of advantages and disadvantages, right, between the two. A lot of advantages to sell online, but I think it's great to sell online and in person. I had the thought that a couple of days ago I had like 5 or so sales on eBay, and my total, I added up my total, my net profit, which is of course after all, eBay fees, shipping, before obviously income tax. And I was thinking, well, one person could just come into my store here and easily spend that amount of money. And I could make that instead of having to take photos of those items, list them, store them, buy envelopes, and then print out the label and take them to the mailbox or, to the post office. And I was like, well, someone can just come in and do that. But I think the powerful thing is to do both, which is why I'm doing it. And I foresee as my business grows here, to get sort of inundated with a lot of inventory, and a lot of it I can put on eBay, some of it on Amazon, etc. And I'm also noticing some people are asking me, and it's just another thought, oh, can I buy books from you, like as in, or DVDs even, like new ones, or ones that you don't have in stock? And so that's another thing that I just, I've been thinking about and noticing lately, which I know some used bookstores and other stuff, places like that will do that because someone just wants to go to them and not have to deal with it and just order it through them and give them the business. So anyway, that's a side note. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're doing well. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.